Hello HBA members, Mike Means with your weekly legislative update. Just want to give you a short report. Lots of material to read this week. This legislature's back in session. There were about 1,700 bills carried over from last year, with about another 1,700 bills introduced this year, which means 3,400 bills to begin the session with. Now what typically happens, we got the first deadline coming up in a couple of weeks. Most of those bills will disappear and they'll be done. But in the meantime, there's a lot of legislation that we need to keep a close eye on. Front and center are the tax credits. Tax credits have gotten a lot of attention this year. From the front page of the Daily Oklahoman to a lot of the news media, everybody's looking at a way, how do we plug the $1.3 billion hole? At least that's the terminology being used, 1.3 billion. We're going to keep a close eye on it. What's the big change between last year, this year? Drop, and the dramatic drop in oil prices. The tax credits are doing what they're supposed to do. And I think the legislature is having a tough time deciding what really does need to be trimmed and what doesn't. Part of the reason is they last year passed and put into law an incentive evaluation committee. That group is yet to meet and undertake any review yet of these tax credits. They're looking at 3 different approaches. Get rid of them all, put them all under a moratorium. Second approach, reduce the amount you get by 25%, maybe a larger percent. Third approach is single bills addressing each tax credit and putting different moratoriums on those. So there's a lot of tax credit bills to look at. When you get your report this week, if you take a close look at it, you'll see a long list of tax credit bills. My personal sentiment is let's take a wait and see approach, at least for the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's a long time between now and the end of May. We'll have time to look at our bills, determine which ones really have legs, and then be able to go out and visit with the legislature and see if we can make some kind of compromise or save our tax credit. So that'll be what my main focus is right now. There's a lot of other issues going on out there. As always, there's always a fun bill to watch. Did you know that one legislator decided it's a good idea that every adult subscribe and read a newspaper? He's trying to make that a law. Don't know if that'll get a hearing, but nevertheless, it was introduced. This is Mike Means signing off for this week.